See if this case study, if you can kind of get a feel for this organization and see if you can figure it out. Some of you may, as we give clues. In this organization, if you go to their website, this is some from their website. I went to their website, and these are the values that they listed. Looks pretty good. You know, you look at that list, that seems like, it feels a bit generic to me. Doesn't feel unique. But they're all, that would be good if all of these things happen. And what we learned publicly is that the behaviors were quite the opposite. What we read in the paper was that the leaders, when something went really wrong, the leaders said it's the employees' fault. They're the ones to blame. When things went really wrong, we learned, and some of you may have been their customer, that customers were intentionally deceived. What's that? Wells Fargo. Bingo. Exactly. It's a classic study of what can go wrong around culture. And the question is why? What happened to Wells Fargo? And here's an example of the HR system. The HR system had a different direction than the values. What was the HR? When I talk about the HR system, what drove behavior here? Yeah, it's their compensation system that the managers and the tellers, their job security and their bonuses. They had a slogan called 8 is great. Very ambitious. 8 is great. What that means is that each teller, for each customer, should have 8 different accounts for them. And you would need to keep your job or receive a bonus to up that number. If a client came in and they were 2 or 3, you want to get them to 4. And so deceitful behavior went on around the clients, and that was all discovered. Fascinating. So the CEO of Wells Fargo went before the Senate and had to explain himself. And he's like, oh, it's really not the leadership's fault, it's their fault. Probably about 2-3 months later, what ended up happening? Some of the senior folks ended up losing those very valuable plans that they had, and they were exited without all that compensation. So only because of the public attention did they really address it. The leaders were not held accountable there. Customers were not treated right. Employees were not valued. All opposite of what they wanted to be. And that is because the HR system did not support the culture. And we're going to talk about that in the conscious culture model. That's one case study. Let's take a look at this one, see if you can guess who this one is. In this organization is a fairly large organization, and they were bought by a larger one. They've been very successful. In fact, I would bet everybody here interacts with this organization on a regular basis. Give these little clues. What the CEO did, right the day after the announcement, he wrote a letter, an email to all staff, and it's public, and it's a great letter, by the way. I got it in the blog on my website, and you can Google it to find it. I would, if this stuff interests you, I'd recommend reading this letter because it's LinkedIn is the company. Yeah. That was quick. You got that all from that? Impressive. I wish I had a book to give you. Yeah, and so they were guided. So in this letter, he talked about we're guided by 2 things. We're guided about our mission and vision, which is to create economic opportunity for all, and making sure that our culture and our values come to life. What he says in this letter is that's what got us here. And that will continue to get us going forward, even though we were acquired by Microsoft. I knew you'd know that. Yes. And so here's an example where the leadership is saying, this stuff matters. It's why we're successful, and we're seeing a lot more organizations and organizational leaders stating that. It is the reason we are successful.